I think we just saw him come out. People in chat are saying yes. So we just saw Mark Rutte come out, who is the Secretary General of NATO. So he's going to be heading over to the White House. Let's see who else we see. The European leaders are coming out. They are coming out now to go to the White House. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. Let's see how Wikipedia pronounces it. Mark Rutte.
Mark Rutte.
There you go. That's from Wikipedia. Mark Rutte. Okay, so again,
go to if you see President Trump, or go to the live event and come back and continue on with the various activity that we were in at that moment, because this is all RSBN live. Everything happening live right now. All right, so let's do this. Let's go to a video about making Washington, D.C. safe. And I'm going to say it this way. Maybe not safe again. Well, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, it was safe back in the day. You know, I looked at a video, I forget what year it was. I think it was 1954.
You know what I got to do? Here's what I'm going to do. Hold on a second. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to get this going. We got to get two cameras on the screen. Hang on. There we go. Here we go. So we got the White House and we got the Ukrainian embassy. Who's coming now? Who's coming out now? Somebody else coming out? So again, Macron will be going straight to the White House. Hey, thanks, Sydney, for the gift memberships. That's so nice of you. So we got the White House in the corner. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to move this caption down here. Then move this up here. Oh, what's happening? See what we're doing here? Now what? What's happening now? See, we got the car in front of the building waiting. The cars are waiting for the European leaders to come out and head over to the White House. So much drama. Thanks, Weasel Man, for the memberships. Thank you, Weasel Man. Much appreciated. Hang on a moment. Oh, I got so many cameras today. There's a lot of cameras, which is good. This is a good thing. I got another camera too. Look, it's a third camera. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. It's another camera from the White House. Too many cameras. Oh, there's Ursula von der Leyen right there. The European Commission President, Ursula von der Leyen, just came out. See? There she is. Ursula von der Leyen, the European Commission president is heading over to the White House. All right, so Mark Rutte has left. Ursula von der Leyen has left. We're waiting for Prime Minister Starmer of the UK, I believe, is still in there. Prime Minister Stubb of Finland, or is he the president? Is he the president? I forget. Alexander Stubb, who is the president of Finland, is there. I believe he's in there. Giorgia Meloni, who is the Prime Minister of Italy, is there. Now, what will happen if one of them gets to the White House, and we might have at the same time people leaving the embassy and people getting to the White House? Oh, guys, there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot happening, trying to keep it all under control and all on the screen for you, doing the best I can. Somebody else is coming out, I think. It's that guy. Now remember, Zelensky is going over to the White House at 1. Although things are a little behind schedule now because the European leaders were supposed to start getting to the White House at noon, but it's after noon right now. Once Stubb and Meloni and Starmer leave, then we can go full screen on the White House. Oh, thank you, that Anthony Carl. Thank you. Anthony says he's been watching the streams. He was started watching when the Ukraine war started. He said, cool, kind of cool. I'm watching today, he said, when it hopefully ends. I got to admit, Anthony, I'd be really surprised if we got a peace deal today. I mean, I'd be happy about it. But we'll just have to see. Maybe it can make, if not a deal, maybe progress towards a deal. Hey, thanks to Anthony Carl. That's very nice of you, Anthony. Garden and Jungle says the war started in 2014. Yeah, I mean, I think when people say 2022, they're referring to the big invasion. I mean, you know, Russia took Crimea by force in 2014. Thanks. I'll say 7 Destroyer. 7 Destroyer. Thanks for your support from Europe. All right. So I don't know. It's possible that people will start showing up at the White House while the other people are leaving from the embassy. Thanks, Tenzin Jigma. Thanks, Tenzin. Also, Tim Glenn. Thank you, Tim. And the one and only our member. And Adam Farmer. Adam says, USA borders are arbitrarily drawn. Let's redraw it. Thank you, Adam. Thank you also, Sean Gomes, as well. All right, we see some activity at the Ukrainian embassy there on the live shot. R. Waltz says, what if Russia wants Alaska back? I have not heard that's one of Putin's demands. So we are waiting for the rest of the European leaders to leave the Ukrainian embassy, and then they are heading over to the White House. And somebody else, we're waiting for Prime Minister Starmer to come out of the embassy. Prime Minister Meloni of Italy, and hold on a second here. Finnish President Stubb. Thanks to Beth Smith and also Chris Canada, Quebec City. Chris is a fan of Meloni. Thank you both. Thanks Who Shot JR. Guy from the 207 on Twitch. Bartleby Finnegan on Twitch, thank you. I don't know if the European leaders who'd already left are waiting for the other European leaders and they're all going to arrive at the White House at once. Because we did see Mark Rutte and Ursula von der Leyen already leave the embassy. Hey, thanks, Kelly Smith. I appreciate that, Kelly Smith. Thanks for your support. Oh, and Ermi T gave 20 people memberships. Hey, that's really nice of you, Ermi. Make sure you thank Ermi T if you got a membership from Ermi. Thank you. Aristotle or Plato, you got to respect the rules of the chat, but thank you. All right, what's happening? People are coming out. People are coming out. Well, now the door's closing. Toodles says things are happening, happening.
Meloni are already politically aligned with Trump. So they're kind of hoping, Jonathan, that they can bank all that in today. They can use the rapport that they have individually built up with Trump to appeal to him, not to abandon Ukraine. It's a massive day.
About the meltdown in the Oval Office last February between Zelensky and Trump. I was on air when that happened. My jaw dropped, as did jaws around the world as we watched it unfold. I wonder how different things will be today. Will Zelensky wear a suit, for example? He didn't last time, and that was seen as a sign of disrespect for the office of president by Donald Trump. Will he use a translator? Maybe one of the issues for him last time was that he was speaking English. And I wonder, too, whether he has had some advice from the European leaders who are travelling with him as to how to approach the next few hours.
Yeah, I remember that moment so well.
Is it none of them? There's Keir Starmer. Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer, is coming out right now. You just saw him. Hey, that was Keir Starmer, guys. We just saw Keir Starmer. Okay. All right, so he's out. He's out of there. So we're waiting for Prime Minister Stubb and Prime Minister Meloni. Thanks to Bob Newth. Thank you, Bob. And Weaselman, thank you. And Faustina from Norway. And Tim Glenn as well. Thanks, Tim.
That. But since then, a lot's changed, Sam, hasn't it? I mean, you know, the Europeans have kind of committed to NATO, to funding them, their own militaries to a much greater extent. So quite a lot has changed.
Oh, completely. I mean, what's going to be interesting is the contrast between February and now. In effect, if it goes well today, it's because there's been a big lessons learned sort of exercise gone on. And I think that's not only the trivial, the suit, and I would expect Zelensky to be significantly smarter today than he was back in February. But I think that European leaders have been, in effect, coaching President Zelensky on how best to deal with Donald Trump. And I've been talking to European diplomats about how they think the Ukrainian president will approach today. And really, he's got two jobs. First of all, he's got to bank some of that change of position of Russia that we saw on Friday when it comes to security guarantees. President Putin appears to have suggested or hinted in some form he might be open to some kind of guarantee of security for Ukraine in a post-peace deal settlement. So President Zelensky should listen and see if he can get further flesh on the bone of what that actually means in practice. And then a second thing, which is even harder for President Zelensky, there is a live discussion about territory that is going on. And Donald Trump has made his view very clear that
it's possibly happening. This is really about life and about death, or life and about injury, or life and getting your car stolen, or life and fill in the crime blank. President Trump continues saying this is...
See if I have any other updates here. Hold on a moment. Haven't seen anyone show up at the White House yet on the White House cams. I'm guessing maybe the European leaders will all show up at the same time there, but I don't know for sure. Thank you, Ernest Cannell. Ernest thinks that Russia's future is being decided. You have those soldiers standing there waiting at the White House there on the right. Yes, a good point from, I don't know if that's the standard. A good point, though, from one of our viewers who pointed out, Annie said that you can see the red carpet on the right side, on the right shot. There is a red carpet there. People are asking if Zelensky will wear a suit. Axios had reported that the White House had wanted him to wear a suit, and they said he was heard that he was gonna wear some kind of black jacket thing that he wore, I think, to the NATO summit, maybe in June, I think. According to Axios, yes, they say he's going to be wearing the black jacket he wore to the NATO summit in June. They also reported that Trump supposedly is okay with that outfit. They said when he wore that black jacket in June, it was the first time Zelensky had worn a business-style jacket since the invasion in 2022. Hold on. Oh, somebody's arriving. Oh, no, Mark Rutte's arriving. Oh, my gosh. Too much is happening. Too much is happening. Where's my mouse? There's Mark Rutte. On the lower right there. Mark Rutte's arriving. Look, he's walking in. There he is. Mark Rutte of NATO. Okay, he's there. All right. So he just arrived. Sorry, there's a lot going on here. I almost missed it. Secretary General of NATO. So, okay, I guess they're not all going over together. They're leaving one by one and they're just heading over there. All right, what's next? Mers, Stubb, Maloney. Did I miss somebody? Did I miss somebody who just came out? Some people are saying Maloney. Oh, was Maloney there? I didn't even see. I was looking at a guy and thinking like, wait, who's that? And I completely missed who else came out. I'll have to replay it. Hang on. Yeah, I know Ruta arrived. Oh, I got all confused. Hold on. Hang on. Yeah, I know Ruta arrived. You can hear two of me for a second. I'm replaying it right here for myself. Oh, okay. I see now. At the bottom. Maloney, okay. You know, I'm sorry. She was partially covered up by the... Maloney was partial... let me show you Maloney. I'm going to show you guys. I'll show you. Do you want to see... Oh, hold on. Somebody's showing up now. Somebody is showing up at the White House. Let's make that big. Okay, Ursula von der Leyen is showing up at the White House. There's Ursula von der Leyen of the European Commission. She is at the White House. She's showing up right now. I'll replay Maloney in a second. But she is walking in to the White House. Okay, so she's in there now. Now, let's keep our... So Maloney left. Hold on. Let's not... Somebody else is going to leave in a second. Can I get Maloney if I rewind this? Hold on. Watch what I do here. Let's get Maloney leaving. Hold on. Right here. Coming up. This was a moment ago. Was this one? This is Maloney. There she is right there. Hold on. Watch. You'll see. Right there. I believe that is Prime Minister Maloney at the bottom there. Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom of your screen. Right there. Is that Maloney? Right there? Okay. That was moments ago. All right, now we're back up to live. People are saying yes in the chat. Sorry, I missed it initially. All right, somebody else. We're waiting for Chancellor Merz of Germany, and we're waiting for Prime Minister Stubb of Finland to leave the embassy. And then we're also showing you as they show up at the White House. Now, I'm confused. Well, the lower left is the idea that this camera on the lower left, is that the one Zelensky's going to show up at? But he's not. The camera on the right is where the European leaders are showing up? Because I haven't seen the European leaders show up on the left camera. Starmer already left. So we have the Prime Minister of Finland and we have the Chancellor of Germany. Those are the two we're waiting for to come out of there. All right, let's see here. Oh, this is Stubb. That's Prime Minister Stubb of Finland, right? Maybe some of our Finnish viewers can confirm. I believe that was Prime Minister Stubb of Finland who just walked out. Oh, is it President? I'm sorry. President Stubb, my bad. President Stubb. That was President Stubb. Sorry, I said Prime Minister. Oh, wait, somebody else is coming. Somebody else is showing up. Oh, no. It's Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer's there. It's Keir Starmer showing up at the White House. Look, there he is. I believe that it's Monica Crowley, I believe head of protocol, who's greeting people. There's Keir Starmer. So Keir Starmer just got to the White House, UK Prime Minister. He just got there. He just walked in. Fine. Okay, so the last person coming out, because I don't think Zelensky's coming out yet, but we should be seeing Chancellor Merz of Germany coming out of the embassy now. So again, I believe he's the last one for the moment. And one by one, people are showing up at the White House. Thank you for being with us for our coverage of the Zelensky meeting with Trump and the European leaders meeting with Trump as well. Shout out to our moderators again. Want to shout them out. Beth Mythical on YouTube, thank you. Ruth Krafasi, thank you. By the way, thanks also Regenerated Zed for your support. Regenerated Zed. And Lars Wolter. Thanks, Lars Wolter, for your support. And DS. And Aristotle or Plato. And P.A. Jeeper 420. Uh-oh, what's happening? P.A. Jeeper 420. They closed the gate. Huh. Well, the gate just closed. So for now, maybe people are done leaving. He's locking the gate. I didn't see, did MERS ever leave? Okay, the gate is locked. You know what? I think I'm going to go to this shot now. Why don't we make this the big shot now? You know that? Because for the moment, I don't think anyone else is coming out of that embassy. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do... This is the White House now. Get some volume from this shot, maybe? Let's see.
I got Italy represented right now.
Kushelman thinks MERS is locked in at the embassy. I don't even have that embassy shot anymore. So that the embassy shot is over. That was a good shot though, that embassy shot. Let me just do this. So who will show up next at the White House? We'll see. Thanks to our mods on Twitch, Idaho Star, I got that fire, Sarah and Papa Bear. Thank you. Thanks to Quake Clouds for your support on for subscribing on Twitch. Facebook, our moderators, Margaret Riley, Margaret Riley, Kay Lowry Body, thank you. Linda Belk, Larry, Misha over on X, thank you. Oh, hold on. I have a shot from inside. Breaking news. I have a shot from inside. Wait. What is this? Oh, no, it's a recording. I'm sorry, it's not. I have a video from inside the embassy when Zelensky was meeting with European leaders. Okay, I have I thought it was inside right now, but I do have a video of the European leaders that I'm going to throw up in a second when they were just meeting. It's interesting. So let me, I thought I maybe had a shot of them sitting inside now, which was like, wow, I didn't know I had that. But it's still interesting to see them. Somebody else is showing up. Somebody else is coming. Who do we got? Who do we got?
Ready doors.
Here we go. Ready doors.
Pop.
Ready pop. It's Giorgia Meloni of Italy.
Ready close. Ready shut.
The Italy Prime Minister. There she is.
Yep. Ready two. Ready fish.
Finland is next. Do they have
Finland is next. President Stubb is coming next. Hey, thank you to Hello Kolya, who says Zelensky will prevail over Russia. Thanks, Hello Kolya, for your support. I got to get the video for you. I'm going to play it in a second of Zelensky and the European leaders. I got to pull that up here. I'll do that in a second. I can't pull it up yet. I'm hearing sirens. Hey, thanks, Seven Destroyer. Thank you. Guys, I'm hearing sirens. I'm hearing sirens. Breaking news. Maybe somebody else about to get there.
It's Daniel.
Thank you, the Watch Lister. The Watch Lister, I have not heard that. I have not heard that, the Watch Lister. But if I hear some kind of reliable source, I will mention it. Thank you so much. President Stubb of Finland is next. Oh, Macron, I don't think has gotten there yet. Macron was coming from the airport. So it could be Macron at some point. Big doings, guys. Big doings. We should, there's going to be also, we're not going to be able to watch the whole meeting live, but parts of the meetings will be shown. Oh, I see some people setting up. There's some movement on the lower left there, some more journalists showing up on the lower left. So Zelensky's supposed to get there at 29 minutes from now. I wonder if that'll happen. Maybe he will get there by 1. Thank you, One Way Street, who says, I love seeing all the formalities and colors, so unifying and patriotic. Thank you, One Way Street. I really appreciate that. By the way, Carms is moderating too. I might have missed Carms before. And Janet B, thank you. I apologize, there's a bit of noise in the background today because outside where I am, there's a little repair going on, so that you won't hear that noise when we watch the meeting footage, but you might hear a little from time to time. I thought on the way the schedule was written that all of the European leaders were going to arrive at once, but I guess they're staggering it out. So we're waiting for Prime Minister Stubb of Finland, President Stubb of Finland, Chancellor Merz of Germany, and I think we're still waiting for Macron to show up from France. Hold on. We got more things happening. More things are happening. New arrival. Is this going to be President Stubb? I think I see the Finland flag. I think it's going to be President Stubb of Finland.
Ready, two. Ready, doors.
Ready doors.
Ready, top. Ready, open.
There he is, President Stubb of Finland. Greeted by Monica Crowley at the White House.
Ready, shut.
There you go. All right.
Ready, two. Ready, face.
Chancellor Merz, I guess, is next. They're bringing in the Finland flag. You see, they just brought in the Finland flag. Oh, they're bringing out the French flag. There's the French flag, right? Am I right? I can't see the top of it. Is Macron next? I think Macron might be next. You guys probably noticed that, but I didn't notice the other flag.
Dlaczego jest prezydent Finlandii, a nie ma nikogo z Polski?
Nie ma Donalda Tuska, bo ze względu na jego postawę wobec prezydenta Trumpa i możemy sobie tutaj przypomnieć te słynne słowa.
Wydawca mi podpowiada Mariusz Staniszewski, 3 miliony obywateli Finlandii.
Wydaje mi się, że jednak trochę więcej.
Właśnie też tak się wydaje, no ale dobrze, nie dyskutujmy.
Niewiele.
Znacznie niewiele Polska, tak czy inaczej.
Powiem tak, no, jak można zapraszać do Białego Domu kogoś, kto nazywał Donalda Trumpa rosyjskim agentem i jeszcze nie tak dawno słyszeliśmy te słowa z ust Donalda Tuska, były oburzające i były po prostu głupotą polityczną, która sprawiła, że Donald Tusk jest personą non gratą w Białym Domu. Nikt go nie chce i nikt z nim nie chce rozmawiać. Prezydent Nawrocki został zaproszony na początek września i dużo sobie obiecujemy po tej wizycie. Jestem przekonany, że będzie miał okazję w 4 oczy wytłumaczyć Donaldowi Trumpowi stanowisko Polski wobec całego tego konfliktu. Nasze stanowisko, kwestia naszego bezpieczeństwa jest dla nas najistotniejsza. Mówił o tym w kampanii i myślę, że będzie
Radosław Sikorski mówi tak. Informuje, że na spotkaniu do Białego Domu, w którym zaprasza prezydent Stanów Zjednoczonych, w którym polscy przedstawiciele ruchu MAGA oraz osobiście pan prezydent Karol Nawrocki mają uprzywilejowane stosunki. Proszę, aby ich używali na rzecz Polski i Europy.
In the UK, thank you, Malcolm, from watching from the UK. Thank you to Gabe Itch from Denmark, who says it's tense. This is tense. Thank you to VV from Europe, who says, let's hope this leads to a just and lasting peace. Thank you. Cyrus the Virus, thanks for being a member. Thanks to everybody for watching. We are waiting, I believe President Macron of France will be showing up next, coming directly from the airport.
Putin's ambition is still the whole of Ukraine, then I'm afraid all of this is just window dressing. It's Putin playing for time, and frankly, we're no closer to any sort of solution than we were a few weeks ago.
Sean, thank you very much. Sean Bell, our military analyst. Let's just take you back to the White House, where the Finnish president, Alexander Stubb, has arrived in the last few moments. He has a good relationship with President Donald Trump. They share a love of golf. And here he is, all smiles, as he is greeted at the White House. So Mark Rutte, NATO Secretary General, has arrived, also the Italian Prime Minister, and indeed Sakir
Sirens,
Starmer.
guys. Sirens again. The person who is greeting the people as they walk in, the leaders, is Monica Crowley, who is the Chief of Protocol of the United States. We're ready, I think. The Chief of Protocol, Monica Crowley, says Wikipedia, is responsible for advising the President, Vice President, and Secretary of State on matters of national and international diplomatic protocol.
Okay, we're on a tight timeline now. We're going to get on the other side of the train. Okay, copy on that. All right. Well, gotcha. Thank you, Jesse. Thanks for the call. You want to try your one? Okay, Brandon. All right, Brandon. Brandon. All right, so we are set to receive
Gen Xer says this feels like a bigger deal than I originally anticipated. Yes, I believe Macron is next.
Excellent, excellent. That's great. Thank you.
No.
Hey, Brandon, sorry about that. Brandon? 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 Brandon?
Blissy says this is rather extra. I wasn't expecting all this. So Zelensky will show up. Is that the Oval Office door? Zelensky's going to show up on the lower left when he shows up. He won't be showing up the same door. Because the lower left is where the main guests normally show up. So we're waiting for Chancellor Merz of Germany and President Macron of France, and obviously Zelensky. Top Fix says all of this could have been done on a Zoom, waste of taxpayer money. That's what our viewer Top Fix said. Hey, thanks to Sherry Baker. Sherry, that's so kind of you. Sherry thinks America is back 1,000%. Thank you, Sherry Baker. That's very kind of you. Appreciate your support. Oh, here we go. Here he is. I think this is Macron. No, it's not Macron. They switched the flag. It's Germany. It's Chancellor Merz. It's Chancellor Merz of Germany. This is Chancellor Merz of Germany.
Ready, two. Ready, doors. Ready, pop.
Ready, doors, ready, pop. There is Chancellor Merz coming out right now. There he is. Chancellor Merz of Germany showed up. Greeted by Monica Crowley.
Ready, shut.
All right, Chancellor Merz from Germany is there. I didn't see the Germany flag before. I thought they had the France flag out there. But while I wasn't looking, now there's the France flag, right? Right there. Now they have the tricolor. Okay, there's the France flag. I'm probably pronouncing Merz wrong. I'm sorry if I am. Is it Mertz or something? I gotta look it up. We're waiting for President Macron of France. Mertz, is it? Hey, thanks to Keiru, by the way. Keiru says if a suit and tie really mattered, why didn't they make a big deal about Sergei Lavrov wearing a USSR jumper? Did Lavrov wear the USSR jumper to the actual meeting? That I don't know. He wore it to the venue. So we're waiting for, I believe, the last leader to show up before Zelensky. President Macron of France. He is next. Hearing the sirens. You will see them all when we see them later. Thank you to Night Vibe TV and Clive Stegosaurus.
Hey, Brandon. Yeah, make sure that they're here.
Night Vibe says, "Stop war, thanks." Night Vibe says Germany is watching to get in touch with a peace deal with Putin. We have to learn from history in 2 world wars. Thank you, Hello Kolya again. Thank you, hello, Kolya, so much for your support. I believe the last leader before, and Jonathan, thank you, Jonathan. I believe the last leader before Zelensky will be Macron next.
Line is the contact line, as Sean was describing a moment ago, the contact line and the actual geographical boundaries of the oblasts, of the counties that form the east of Ukraine. Where does that line in any settlement lie? Is it the front line, frozen there, or is it in fact Russia being given more land that they haven't yet taken? It's absolutely key. I don't know if you can play those pictures again of the leaders meeting at the Ukrainian embassy, because trivial as this may seem, I think it will be all important because Volodymyr Zelensky, he's not wearing a tie, but he is wearing a suit. And I think that will be seen as a really important moment. We have learnt with Donald Trump that the trivial matters as much as the detail. In fact, very often the trivial impacts the detail. And the fact that he has chosen this time to wear a smarter outfit than the sweatshirt that he was wearing back in February, I think for some in America, and I spoke to the guy, Brian Glenn, from a very pro-Trump news channel out here in America. I spoke to him a moment ago. He reckoned that Trump would wear a suit. Why is he relevant? Because he's the one who asked, sorry, not Trump, he's the one, Trump will be wearing a suit. He was the one who asked Zelensky why he wasn't wearing a suit last time. Macron is now, President Macron is now arriving around the other side of the White House. I was wrong a bit earlier. There was one more leader to come, and that is the French president, who I don't think was at the embassy because he's only just landed, greeted there by Monica Crowley, the head of protocol here at the White House. She will take him in for the buffet lunch, Sam, that they're due to have.
Yes, and it's important to get your head around the choreography of today. Essentially, the 8 leaders will be sitting in a separate room while Donald Trump meets, greets and has his discussions with President Zelensky. And then there will be a separate meeting later on between Donald Trump and those eight leaders. So I suspect the most important meeting for those 8 leaders was the one we've just had between Zelensky and the European leaders, as they give, effectively coach President Zelensky for this. It could be the most important moment of his political career, quite frankly.
Don't mess this up, Vladimir.
And don't go too hard on Donald Trump. And I think we saw that reflected in the statement that President Zelensky has just issued. But there's so much confusion on the substance. In the last 20 minutes or so, Russia has issued a statement saying that it would oppose any scenario that envisages the deployment of NATO troops in Ukraine.
Now, that's really interesting. I mean,
it's absolutely fascinating, because over the weekend we had the suggestion that Russia would be able to accept NATO-style deployments. But what is a NATO-style deployment that's not a NATO deployment? Troops from countries like Britain are in NATO. The reality of what that means, very hard to read.
Sam,
here is President Macron right now.
Ready, nope. Ready, doors.
Ready doors, ready pop.
Ready, open.
Already open. There's President Macron of France. He is there.
How are you? Ready, close. Ready, shut. Ready, face. Happy to be here again.
Something to remember it by. There's one word that stayed the same. It's smaller, don't you think? I was just so happy when they got air conditioning. I remember when they didn't have air conditioning. Yeah. Cheap death there, aren't you?
Or just short period. Cheating death finger.
What?
He might have felt he was doing right, didn't work at that meeting in February, to say the least. So I spent about some time with him in Kyiv when making the Zelensky story for BBC Two, and it was completely fascinating to see the extent to which he at least to me, seemed a man who is very open, unfiltered, direct, clever, and knows how he comes across. So in that case, he got it, you could argue, wrong, given the nature of President Trump. I suspect this time he will behave, he will retain his dignity and his position, but he will know that he has to appear, both literally in terms of what he wears, but also how he comes across, slightly differently.
And Michael, there's been so much talk, hasn't there, in recent days about the Donbass region and about Putin's desire to take it all. And we know that Zelensky is from not far from there. His first language is Russian, although he no longer speaks it, of course. It does mean that that area of the country has a deep resonance with him.
Absolutely. He comes from a town called Kryvyi Rih, which isn't quite in the Donbass, but very near. As you say, his first language is Russian, his second Ukrainian, and his third, with difficulty, and that was part of the problem, I think, in February, is English. He's a clever man, but he's a patriot by definition, but he also will feel a deep emotion, and he will share the emotion of his countrymen and women, that giving up land after however many thousands of people have died.
Inside the Oval Office. This is part 2. We know what it was like during part 1. We'll see what happens here. At 2:15, an hour later, the president will greet the European leaders in the state dining room. At 3 o'clock, the president will participate in that multilateral meeting with the European leaders. That will be held in the East Room of the White House. The list, again, of the European leaders, the UK Prime Minister, the Italian Prime Minister, German Chancellor, the Finnish President, the French President, the NATO Secretary General, and the EU Commission President, all in attendance. Quite the names of people there when it comes to world leaders. This is something that President Trump confirmed on Truth Social has not happened before, the amount of world leaders at one point there at the White House. So I'm calling it a White House Summit 2025. Why not? Because that's what it looks like it is right now. 8 minutes out from the top of the hour, Vladimir Zelensky of Ukraine on his way to that west wing of the White House. So we'll see the President of the United States, the leader of the free world, of course, greet Vladimir Zelensky. Then they'll walk into the Oval Office. As soon as we see live feeds of the Oval Office inside there, obviously we'll be going right to it. In the meantime, we have a few minutes. We're going to go to an interview with Nicholas Fondacaro. He's an associate editor with Media Research Center. Let's go to that interview right now. Joining us now is the associate editor at the Media Research Center and Newsbusters, Nicholas Fondacaro. Thank you again for joining us.
Maloney and Zelensky and von der Leyen.
That's where they let him go.
There they are at the Ukrainian embassy. Starmer. This was a little earlier. President Stubb. Mark Rutte. This is from the earlier today. That was it. Hang on, it's going to play again just so you can see it. This was earlier before they came over to the White House. Oh, that's what Zelensky is wearing, by the way. For those who are wondering what Zelensky's going to wear, we just saw it. Where is it here? Where is it here? There he is right there. That's what he's wearing. Right there. It's what you... Oh, hold on a second. All right, let's get away from this. We got to go. There's stuff going on. That's going on now. All right, so we saw that. Look at this. The flags are coming over. The flags are coming over. Samurai Conscious says they're walking. Oh, there's more video of them talking that I'll show you in a moment. I think. I have other video of them too. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Look at this. Look at this. It's a whole thing. Guys, it's a whole thing.
No. Tragedy struck. Oh, come on.
Do they not want the flags in the camera way? Is that what they're complaining about?
Somebody politely asked, don't everybody yell.
I think the camera people are like, the flags are going to block the view of the door.
Doug, help. They're not going to. He's into her face. He's adjusting. He's adjusting. Put your mark on it first. Doug. Doug. Wait.
Doug.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Keep going.
No.
He's been working with us. Thank you, sir.
A little bit more, please.
Thanks, Sarge.
He's still in the way.
They've been good at working out. That's can't ask him. Thank you. No, that's amazing.
Uh-oh. Get him out of there.
I'm sorry. Thank you. They've never done that before.
How's that?
The flags are usually pretty. How much he's going to tip this?
They're concerned, I think, still that this flag is going to block the view.
You come up, be careful.
So these guys can hold it. They can, when it's happening, it's all down.
So supposedly Zelensky arrives in 2 minutes. I would not, my clock might not be correct. I mean, my clock gives you 2 minutes until the scheduled arrival time for Zelensky. But I don't know that it's going to be right on schedule.
Anyone gets a clean picture? Congratulations. Yeah. Those stories I'm not going to get.
12:57 now.
They may not. Sometimes they don't grab.
Oh my gosh. The European leaders are there.
As long as it's the trees.
There was a red carpet where the European leaders showed up.
Yeah.
I don't see one there. One of our viewers just commented.
If you go up, I'm going to have to go up. They were just.
It's not a very long walkway there in the front where the mat is.
Why should I be denied?
We're happy with you. I mean, you know.
Of course. Of course.
Speak for yourself. Yeah.
What's this? See?
Oh, what? We like it.
This is I care for you guys.
Yeah, I care for you. It's appreciated.
One of our viewers, Titan, said it's like a 2-foot walk. All right, in 27 seconds, I'm going to get rid of my clock because...
That's hilarious.
Okay, I'm watching. I got it here.
It's going to be 1 p.m. in 10 seconds. And I'm going to remove the clock. Oh, thank you, Kitzel Pie. Thank you, Kitzel Pie. That's really kind of you. Thanks for your support of the channel. All right, guys, we're just about at 1. We're at 1 p.m. Eastern time. That is the designated arrival time. So we'll get rid of the clock.
I am. Okay. I got the game. Okay, I'm going up to look. Just for a second. Yeah, how about this one? Yeah. Oh. It's also a bigger floorboard. Back down, go down. On your ladder to make sure it's steady.
Oh, you're good.
Any moment. Thanks to SK1B1 for subscribing on Twitch, the Crunch Tickler for subscribing on Twitch, Big Dog Gaming, thanks for your support on Twitch, Red Eye Shell on Twitch, Quake Clouds on Twitch, thank you, Who Shot JR,
Yeah, I'm catching the breeze, bro. You get any breeze
Guy
down
from the
there?
207.
I can break a breeze for you.
Make it flat. It's already flat. It's got to be flat. It's called Gaussian blur right through it. Right. You don't need a filter or prism. Right. Right through. Right through.
Just like the
Thanks Blast Manager, our member Blast Manager.
NFL.
5 minutes. Oh, you're going to crush it. So you drive by in the morning, Well, I think it's going. I mean, I'm going to lean a little bit. So I'll probably lean on that.
So, I'm assuming that I think it's a safe assumption that we won't obviously be able to watch the whole meeting, but there will be some sort of, he'll arrive and then they'll go inside, and sometimes they do a thing where pretty soon they do an appearance inside, or they could do a thing where they have the meeting and then they do an appearance. But I believe at some point we'll see them all sitting in the Oval Office and with the cameras. But maybe that'll be after the meeting. I hope they do. We'll just have to see. Irving says, got to do... So, no, I don't want to read what Irving just said. Thank you to Johan Wiebach from Sweden. Thank you, Johan Wiebach.
We have some more coverage, of course, right here as the European leaders will be met by President Trump in the state dining room. So as we wait for Vladimir Zelensky, this is what we can do. We're going to go through a couple sponsors. If we see the Ukrainian leader pulling up to that White House, we'll cut right to that, and then we'll continue our sponsor read as soon as that is over. In the meantime, of course, you want to be prepared. You want the treatments your family might need before an emergency hits, but most pharmacies and insurance companies make that almost impossible if gatekeepers
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and say, we're not going to give you specifics of what we talked about. Thank you, T. Morgan. Thanks, T. Zelensky's name is spelled a couple different ways. A lot of media outlets in the U.S. spell it with one Y. Some outlets spell it with two Ys. I have gone with one Y. But I am watching several news channels now, they have it spelled different ways. Thank you, Ada60. Thank you, Ada60.
Or it could be chatting.
And they're waiting for the signal to come on in.
Yeah. Absolutely right. Yeah, he's chatting with the European guys. Yeah. No, he's at McDonald's after one. He can't get a snack. He gets the doctor. Right. I hear Byron.
Oh, I'm seeing on one of the news channels, they're showing footage of his car going through the street. So I assume that means he's arriving soon. Yeah, a couple of the news channels have footage of the street.
We're shooting at it yet, so it's going to be theirs.
You can see the
to the idea
Ukrainian.
of Article 5 style security guarantees. That's a very nebulous, very vague term. Article 5 is obviously the central pillar of NATO. It's the all for one, one for all understanding that all members of NATO will defend whatever member nation is attacked. So it set this idea out there that possibly the Russians have sort of softened on their opposition to any NATO troops being in Ukraine, and they are pushing back on that just ahead of this summit. Now, cynics might say that possibly Vladimir Putin did sound slightly open to this idea in the meeting so that hairs could get set running, and hairs that were clearly sort of picked up with Steve Witkoff. And I think what we're going to want to see more of, and certainly for the European leaders going alongside President Zelensky as he goes to the White House now, they'll want to have clarification on this idea that America is going to do more to support these security guarantees. We've heard so much about security guarantees, but for Ukrainians here, they're absolutely essential. They're not just words. They would give them the confidence, and they're only prepared to go into peace negotiations if there is a commitment at the very outset from Western nations, including America, they want. And this was really at the heart of that massive fiasco we saw in February in the Oval Office. They want those kind of commitments from Western nations to say that wherever these peace talks go, if a peace
during the first part one of the Zelensky-Trump meeting at the Oval Office months ago. I was actually covering it here with you guys, watching it just like you were at home. What a situation that was. Remember when J.D. Vance, the vice president, stepped in and said some things. President Trump was saying, I have the cards, you don't have the cards, saying it to Zelensky. Well, since then, a lot of phone calls have been made, a lot of different diplomatic things have happened. So this may be happening where this war between Russia and Ukraine will stop. We'll see how the meeting goes today. If the meeting goes good, that means there will be a trilateral meeting between Putin, Zelensky, and Trump at the White House, possibly this week. Those are not my words. I've been reading those reports and seeing that out there. So that may be happening. It all depends on how today goes. Now, the European leaders, if you're just joining us now, they just arrived on the south lawn of the White House. They entered through the south portico of the White House. President Trump will see them after the meeting with Zelensky. That'll be at the state dining room. Then around 3 o'clock Eastern, there's going to be this huge multilateral meeting between all of these world leaders, and that'll happen live right here on Right Side. So we see the camera moving a little bit. That may mean an SUV is pulling up, or he may be just getting a different vantage point. So we'll see which one it is here in a second. But a lot of live coverage today, and thank you guys for those of you that watched on Friday. There was more than 1 million people on just one of the broadcasts and 957,000 on another. And then that's just with one of the platforms out there. When you combine Rumble, YouTube, X, all of watching online on all of the ways you could watch Right Side, several million people just watched on Friday alone. That reminds me of election night and inauguration day here at Right Side, where a combined 11 million people between election night and the inauguration watch. So that's, it's we don't take that lightly. Obviously that's always been because of one thing, just the common sense reporting here and seeing President Trump from all those rallies since 2015. So shout out to Joe Seals, the owner of this network, and Bridget Seals and Mama Seals and all of the hosts that have ever worked at Right Side Broadcasting Network. I joined September 3rd of 2022, and I'm so glad I did, because conservative media, it's the place to be, on the right side of history, instead of the mainstream media where the constant lies have happened and still do. And they could act like they're conservative, or they could act like, oh, they're a little bit more moderate to try and gain some more viewers. But we've already seen it's called the jig is up, right? So we already know that it's what has been done has damaged the trust of the people on the left side of history. But you guys are trusting the right side because simply again, we're just like you guys. When we're out there interviewing you about all of the various topics about President Trump or just about our country, we're reporting it from that angle, the common sense things that we need in this nation. So to keep our freedoms intact, to keep us freely loving our God, our family, our country, working hard, get down with those taxes, increase jobs, right? Having a secure border, law and order on the streets, those that have broken the law, especially within the deep state and all that. President Trump's the one that said to obliterate and dismantle the deep state and globalists. He said it. I've been at a speech that he said that at, and that's something that is part of those 20 core promises. So we know what needs to happen for this country to continue.
People just said, here we go.
Turning in.
Turning in, turning in. Here we go. Thanks, NMCT. Thank you. Up, the flags are going up. The flags are going up.
Oh, they're holding it. That'll work.
Oh my gosh. I think it's happening, guys. I think it is happening. I thought it was happening.
It's like a 15-hour day. Oh, 100%. It's going to be like
Thanks, A to Z. Thank you, A to Z. And Will Horn. Thank you, Will. Guys, the gate is open. The flags are raised. Any moment, Zelensky will be arriving. Hopefully, it goes better than the last Zelensky visit to the White House, which many of you, I'm sure, remember, ended after a meeting with Trump and J.D. Vance in which there was a bunch of shouting, a bunch of tension.
Sean, you all right?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The people are saying, here we go.
Check on you, man.
You're doing okay. Okay, see cars.
Cars are coming in. They're saying cars are coming in.
You will.
He's coming.
He's coming now. Zelensky is arriving now. There is the car. Here we go. Zelensky is arriving at the White House now. There is Trump. There is Trump. Let me get myself off the screen. There's Trump. There they are.
President Trump, sir, your message to the people of Ukraine as world leaders gathered here today.
Focus.
Russia continues to attack civilians in Kharkiv, killing many.
Oh, they didn't really say anything. There you go.
Will you cede land to Russia?
Well, they weren't out there for long. They were not out there for long. I can show you a different shot right now. I'm going to show you a different shot that of the same thing. So hang on. Let me put that on the screen for you. I'm going to show you a different shot. hang on. Let me get the other shot on the screen for you. I have a different angle that we're going to look at right now. Here it is. Okay, this is moments ago. Hold on. Why is this not behaving? Oh, hold on.
How about you? Yeah, I'm not even. Yes.
Wait a second. Hold on. There, I'm seeing, what am I, oh, there it is. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, watch this. I'm going to replay you what happened. Let's watch moments ago. I have a better angle of it now. Here's a different angle of, and I think Trump might have said something. So let's watch this. Sorry, it took me a second to get it on the screen. Here we go. This is moments ago at the White House. You'll be able to see everything better on this shot. Here we go of Zelensky arriving. Hang on. Let's watch what happened. Here, this was moments ago. This was moments ago. Different angle. A little bit of a better shot here. Here's the car coming up. He's smiling. He gave the fist. There's Zelensky. Hello. Oh, nice shot.
President Trump, sir, your message to the people of Ukraine as world leaders gathered here today. Russia continues to attack civilians in Kyiv, killing many.
You've got to just stop, put these on the table. Will you see land for Russia?
He said we love him. So he said we love them. He was asked about any message for the Ukrainian people. He said we love them, and then he said thank you, and that was it. Now here's the live shot. Here is the live shot right here. The flags are leaving on the bye flags. The flags are leaving. That's the live shot right there. Flags are gone. Now, when do we go inside? There might be an appearance now shortly inside. Oh my gosh, hold on. The White House. We're in the White House. We're there at the White House. We're inside. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Crazy.
I think progress is being made, very substantial progress in many ways. We had a good meeting, as you know, just a short while ago with the president of Russia. And I think there's a possibility that something could come out of it. And today's meeting is very important. We have, I guess, the seven very powerful leaders from Europe. And we're going to be meeting with them right after this meeting. And thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. If I can, first of all, thank you for invitation and thank you very much for your efforts, personal efforts to stop killings and stop this war. Thank you. And using this opportunity, many thanks to your wife, First Lady of the United States. She sent a letter to Putin about our children, abducted children, and my wife, First Lady of Ukraine. She gave the letter. It's not to you, to your wife.
Oh, I want
Yeah. So we're saying this sensitive topic. Yes, please. And thanks to our partners and that you supported this format. That after our meeting we can have leaders who are around us UK, France, Germany, Italy, Finland, EU, NATO. I mean, all partners around Ukraine supporting us. Thanks to them, and thank you very much for the invitation.
Thank you very much for being here.
President Trump.
Do you think it's fair?
Yes, Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. So, President Zelensky, you say in a post on X today, Russia must end this war, which it itself started. President Trump, you say President Zelensky of Ukraine can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to. Which is it?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think we're going to have a meeting. I think if everything works out well today, we'll have a trilat. And I think there will be a reasonable chance of ending the war when we do that.
And is this the end of the road for American support for Ukraine? Is today's meeting deal or no deal?
I can never say that. It's never the end of the road. People are being killed, and we want to stop that. So I would not say it's the end of the road. No, I think we have a good chance of doing it. It's been almost 4 years now that a lot of people were killed last week. A lot of people last week. I mean, millions of people killed, but a lot of people last week for whatever reason. A big number, a lot of soldiers, on both sides. And I know the president, I know myself, and I believe Vladimir Putin wants to see it ended.
And as you met with Putin on Friday, today you've got President Zelensky here. As you listen to Russia and Ukraine, which side has the better cards? Right?
Well, I don't want to say that. I'm just here to be. Look, this isn't my war. This is Joe Biden's war. He's the one that had a lot to do with this happening, and we want to get it ended. And we want it to end good for everybody. We want it to end good. The people of Ukraine have suffered incredibly.
And to that point, President Zelensky, are you prepared to keep sending Ukrainian troops to their deaths for another couple years, or are you going to agree to redraw the maps?
Thank you for your question. So, first of all, we live under each day attacks. That today have been a lot of attacks and a lot of wounded people, and the child was dead, small one year and a half. So we need to stop this war, to stop Russia, and we need support American and European partners, and we will do our best for this. So, and I think we show that we are strong people, and we supported the idea of the United States, of personally of President Trump, to stop this war, to make a diplomatic way of finishing this war, and we are ready for trilateral, as President said. This is a good signal about trilateral. I think this is very good. Thank you.
Mr. President,
yes, if the peace deal will be achieved, are you going to be willing to send American peacekeepers to Ukraine?
Well, we're going to work with Ukraine. We're going to work with everybody, and we're going to make sure that if there's peace, the peace is going to stay long term. This is very long term. We're not talking about a 2-year peace and then we end up in this mess again. We're going to make sure that everything's good. We'll work with Russia. We're going to work with Ukraine, and we're going to make sure it works. And I think if we can get to peace, it's going to work. I have no doubt about it.
Your team has talked about security guarantees. Could that involve U.S. troops? Would you rule that out in the future?
We'll let you know that maybe later today. We're meeting with 7 great leaders of great countries also, and we'll be talking about that. They'll all be involved, but there'll be a lot of help when it comes to security. There's going to be a lot of help. It's going to be good. They are first line of defense because they're there. They're Europe, but we're going to help them out also. We'll be involved.
Vladimir Putin mentioned that the war will not end without addressing the root causes of this war. Have you had an understanding what are the root causes of this war?
Well, look, the war is going to end. When it ends, I can't tell you, but the war is going to end, and this gentleman wants it to end, and Vladimir Putin wants it to end. I think the whole world is tired of it, and we're going to get it ended. It was, I've done 6 wars. I've ended 6 wars, and I thought this maybe would be the easiest one, and it's not the easiest one. It's a tough one. A lot of reasons for it, and they'll be talking about it for a long time. But they'll be talking about the others. Look, India, Pakistan. We're talking about the big places. When you look at you just take a look at some of these wars. You go to Africa and take a look at that. Rwanda and the Congo, Republic of the Congo. That's been going on for 31 years. And so we've done a total of 6, and we really have 6, not including the fact that we obliterated, and it turned out to be a total obliteration, the nuclear, as you said, the future nuclear capability of Iran. And this one, I think we're going to get solved also. I feel confident we're going to get it solved.
Thank you,
Mr. President. Can you tell us about your conversations with European leaders and what they need to see to support an end to the war?
Yeah, well, we're going to be meeting with a great representative group and 7 very powerful, very big countries, and great people, all friends of mine and friends of yours. And we're going to have some suggestions made. They want to see peace. They would like to see peace.
President Trump, you said last
in
night
the red.
President Trump, do you think it's fair to for Ukraine and for Russia to achieve a lasting and durable peace if Ukraine cedes its territories that Russia hasn't yet conquered? Do you think it's a fair peace for Ukraine?
We're going to have a lasting peace. Just to answer the first part of your question, we're going to have a lasting peace. I hope it's going to be immediately. I hope it doesn't have to go on. And I think people of the whole world is going to be very happy when that's announced.
Mr. President, you posted on social media, Mr. President, a very touching letter from the First Lady. And the letter was hand-delivered to President Putin. And it calls for an end to the war, essentially, because of the children and the children's future. Why did the First Lady feel that letter was necessary? Was it because she believes that Mr. Putin is the aggressor in the war? Is a similar letter being hand-delivered to President Zelensky?
So the First Lady felt very strongly. She's watched the same thing that you watch and that I watch. I see things that you don't get to see, and it's horrible. But when she's got a great love of children, she has a wonderful son that she loves, probably more than anybody, including me. I hate to say it, but she loves her son. She loves children, and she hates to see something like this happening. And that goes for other wars too. I mean, she sees the heartbreak, the parents, the funerals that you see on television. Always funerals. We want to see something other than funerals. No, she felt. It was a beautiful letter. It was very well received by him. And she did ask me to say, you know, she would love to see this end. She would love to see it end. And she says it very openly, very proudly, and with great sorrow because so many people have been killed.
Mr. President, last week,
Brian, go ahead, Brian.
Yes, sir. I've got a question for each of you.
Yes.
First of all, Mr. President Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good.
I said the one that attacked you last time. See, now
I remember that.
Yeah, I apologize to you. You look wonderful. No, my first question for you, President Zelensky.
In the same suit. You see, I changed. You are not.
Maybe yours is much better. Real quickly, upon peace, God willing we get peace, are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances, and a little bit we need to work in the parliament, because during the war you can't have elections, but we can do security. We need, maybe, how to say, we need a truth, yes, everywhere, in the battlefield, in the sky, in the sea, yeah, to make possible for people to do democratic, open, legal elections.
So you say during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake
news like this idea?
Yeah.
No.
Speaking of news, I got a question for you. This sounds insane for me even to ask this, but do you think the American media really doesn't even want a peace deal because they've seen they've been so critical of you every step of the way as you lead the charge for peace?
It's an amazing phenomenon. I said that if in the settlement you got Moscow, St. Petersburg, and thousands of miles around them, they would say, I made a bad deal. The the level of hatred and animosity is incredible. Not with all. I mean, we have great people up here. We also have terrible people up there that I think are told what to say. But, you know, in solving all of these wars, they don't even write about it. You know, I saw major wars. I saw wars that have been going on for 31, 35, and 37, and a couple of quicker ones. One that was going to go into a full-blown deal very quickly. You know what the one I'm talking about. It was a big one. But they don't even write about that. No matter what I do, no matter what, and you know, this is...
Naprawdę, tam w tych mediach jest bardzo wiele paskudnych ludzi. Ale wiecie, w rozwiązaniu tych wszystkich wojen oni nie mają pojęcia. Ja rozwiązałem wojny, które trwają od 30-31 lat. Wiecie, to była jedna wielka wojna, którą powstrzymałem. I oni nie wiedzą o tym niczego. Choć nie wiem, co ja bym zrobił. Wiecie, to nie ma nic do robienia z tobą. Ale choć nie wiem, co ja zrobię, choć nie wiem, jaka będzie ta umowa. Wiecie, z mojej perspektywy, tobie wyjdzie dobrze, może Putinowi też wyjdzie dobrze. Ale ja z tym żyję od dłuższego czasu, że choć nie wiem, co ja zrobię, to media zawsze będą mówili, że to jest coś złego. Kiedyś dobrze o nim mi mówiono w mediach, a teraz najgorzej o mnie się mówi. No ale wygrałem ostatnie wybory dużą marżą, więc ludzie rozumieją, kim jestem. Ale to naprawdę bardzo smutne. Kiedy robię coś dobrego, na przykład kiedy mówili, z powodu tego, że Władimir Putin przyszedł do Ameryki, to była ogromna porażka dla demokracji. No nie, to było naprawdę wspaniale, że on przyjechał. Była trudna rzecz dla niego, żeby on to zrobił, tak naprawdę. Więc to naprawdę przeciwieństwo tego, co oni mówili. Gdyby on nie przyleciał, to by też było złe dla mnie, dla Trumpa, co nie? To jest po prostu... Dużo jest nieszczerości w mediach. I wiarygodność mediów jest naprawdę na najniższym poziomie od bardzo wielu lat. To a place that now people, friends are calling me up, Democrats are calling me up and they're saying, sir, I want to thank you. Wiecie, Waszyngton DC wcześniej było najbardziej niebezpiecznym miejscem w kraju, jednym z najgorszych na świecie, a teraz to jest bezpieczne miejsce. Waszyngton DC teraz jest bezpiecznym miejscem. Wiecie, kolejny przyjaciel mi do mnie zadzwonił. Miał syna, który gra w golfa i zajął 4. miejsce w wielkim turnieju. I powiedział mi, że jego syn idzie na kolację w Waszyngtonie DC. I się go pytam, czy by na to pozwolił rok temu, on powiedział, nie, bo Waszyngton DC jest zbyt niebezpiecznym miastem. A teraz media mówią, że jestem niby dyktatorem. Ja po prostu chcę bezpieczeństwa dla naszych ludzi. Są ludzie, którzy nie wychodzą na kolację w Waszyngtonie, bo jest tak niebezpiecznie. I restauracje przez ostatnie dni miały więcej klientów niż miały od bardzo długiego czasu. Wie pan, jeżeli można chodzić po Waszyngtonie DC z MTG, to jest naprawdę bezpieczne miejsce. Pan mówił kiedyś o poważnych konsekwencjach, gdyby nie było zgody na zawieszenie broni. Nie sądzę, że potrzebne jest zawieszenie broni. Wiecie, przez te wszystkie 6 wojen, które rozwiązałem, nie było żadnych zawieszeń broni. Rozumiem, dlaczego strategicznie, dlaczego dlaczego jedno państwo albo drugie mogło nie chcieć zawieszenia broni. Wiecie, jedna strona może sobie podbudować linie obronne, czy coś w tym stylu. A my chcemy po prostu podpisać pokój. Ale na długi czas już tej wojny nie było. Wiecie, podoba mi się pomysł zawieszenia broni. Z jednego powodu, ponieważ ludzie by przestali być zabijani. Ale możemy wypracować umowę, gdzie wypracowujemy tą umowę pokojową w trakcie, jak jeszcze walczą. Ale te wszystkie umowy, które my zrobiliśmy, ja te 6 wojen rozwiązałem bez ani nawet słowa o zawieszeniu broni. Czy pan może wytłumaczyć, o co chodzi z decyzją dania Ukrainie możliwości obrony w stylu artykułu 5 NATO? Wiecie, jak zobaczysz? Długo przed tym, jak był prezydent Putin, zawsze była statement, zawsze było potwierdzenie, że nigdy nie chcieli, aby Ukraina weszła do NATO. Ale my im damy bardzo dobrą obronę. A ci ludzie na nas czekają. Oni chyba również chcą też pomóc w obronie Ukrainy.
Thank you, President Trump. The United States has already given hundreds of billions of dollars.
USA już dało setki milionów dolarów do tej wojny na Ukrainie. W najlepszej sytuacji to jest ekwilibrium, ale ginie ciągle ludzi. Więc ile pan prezydent jest gotowy dać Ukrainie jeszcze broni, a ile pan Zełenski jej chce? Wiecie, liczba tej broni, co poszła na Ukrainę, to jest grubo powyżej 300 miliardów dolarów. Wiecie, Joe Biden to nie był inteligentny człowiek. Nawet 40 lat temu nie był inteligentnym człowiekiem. To było zrobione przez skorumpowaną administrację, która szczerze, gdyby tamte wybory ja wygrał, to ta wojna by się nie wydarzyła. Wiecie, tutaj ten człowiek przyszedł przez piekło. Ta wojna by się nigdy nie odbyła. Tam milion ludzi, dużo ludzi, żołnierzy i cywilów, i ludzie, których domy zostały zniszczone, którzy musieli się przeprowadzić. Nic z tego by się nie wydarzyło. Ja po prostu mówię, Joe Biden był okropnym prezydentem. Czy to chodzi o granice, czy to chodzi o Ukrainę? Był okropnym, skorumpowanym prezydentem. Po pierwsze, mamy teraz możliwości kupowania broni od USA i jesteśmy wdzięczni za tą szansę. I mamy niektóre programy, jak możemy mieć trochę pieniędzy, aby to finansować. I ten fundusz to nie jest tylko na tę wojnę, aby się bronić, ale żeby z powrotem uzbroić wojsko ukraińskie, jakby już zaszedł pokój. Rozmawialiśmy już o kwestii obrony przeciwpowietrznej. Nikt w Europie nie ma tylu systemów obrony przeciwlotniczej, jak Ameryka ma. My robimy najlepszy sprzęt wojskowy na całym świecie. Systemy Patriot, one są wspaniałe. Dosłownie, to jakby strzelać 2 kulami, ale mają efektywność 100%, naprawdę. My sprzedajemy ekwipunek do NATO i NATO robi to, co... Nie wiem, jaki NATO ma układ, ale wiem, że NATO chce, żebyście mieli ten ekwipunek. I to jest najlepszy ekwipunek na świecie. No, to było coś szalonego, co się działo. Wydaje mi się, że to było ponad 300 miliardów dolarów w tych pieniądzach i wszystkim innym. I my zrobiliśmy większy postęp w rozwiązaniu tej wojny w ciągu ostatnich paru miesięcy, niż był w poprzednich 2-3 latach. Pan mówił o mediach społecznościowych, o zakończeniu głosowaniu przez pocztę. Wiecie, to jest bardzo poza tematem. Głosowanie przez pocztę jest bardzo skorumpowaną metodą głosowania. Nie może mieć prawdziwej demokracji z głosowaniem przez pocztę. Więc zrobimy wszystko, co będzie możliwe, aby zakazać już głosowania przez pocztę, abyśmy mieli najlepsze granice w kraju. Oraz aby zakończyć głosowanie przez pocztę, bo to jest naprawdę łatwa metoda do oszukania. Jesteśmy chyba jedynym krajem na całym świecie, który przyjmuje głosowanie przez pocztę i to pozwala na ogromne oszustwa.
money they spend, it's approximately 10 times more expensive than paper ballots. And paper ballots are very sophisticated.
I wiecie, liczenie głosów przez maszyny jest 10 razy droższe niż inne lepsze metody. A te maszyny mówią, że będą mieli wyniki za 2 tygodnie. A inaczej możemy mieć te wyniki tego samego dnia. Wiecie, większość państw używa papierowych głosów i to jest najbezpieczniejszy sposób do głosowania. Zakończymy głosowanie przez pocztę. To jest oszustwo. Nawet Jimmy Carter powiedział, że jedna rzecz z głosowaniem przez pocztę, że nie będzie szczerych wyborów. I czas nadszedł, aby republikanie stali się twardzi i zakończyli głosowanie przez pocztę. To jest jedyny sposób, abyśmy mogli wygrywać jakiekolwiek wybory. Te wszystkie potworna polityka demokratów, otwarte granice, ich przestępczość. Demokraci walczą ze mną o to, że ja sprawiłem, że w Waszyngtonie nie ma teraz przestępczości. I cieszę się. Szkoda, że teraz o tym mówię i zabieram ten czas, no ale musimy zaprzestać głosowanie przez pocztę, bo to jest skorumpowane i to jest łatwe do oszustwa. Wiecie, jak przechodziliście przez granicę Stanów, to muszą im dać dokumenty. To jest bardzo trudno, aby oszukiwać z normalnymi metodami głosowania, ale z głosowaniem przez pocztę? Jeśli niektórzy dostają 5, 6, 7 głosów dostarczonych do ich domu, republikanie muszą zakończyć głosowanie przez pocztę. Powiecie, jak nie będzie głosowania przez pocztę, to niewiele demokratów się dostanie na pozycje polityczne. Nie będziemy mieli w ogóle państwa. I tak mówię od dłuższego czasu. Potrzebujemy granic i potrzebujemy sprawiedliwych wyborów. Te dwie rzeczy. Poza tym nie mamy w ogóle państwa. Teraz mamy mocne granice. Wiecie, w 90 dni nie było ani jednego przekroczenia przez granicę południową. Ani jedna osoba nie weszła nielegalnie do naszego kraju. I to taka dosyć liberalna grupa te statystyki wydała. 0, 0 i 0. Wiecie, rok, 2 temu miliony ludzi się wylewały do naszego kraju. To było okropne. Dziękuję bardzo. Panie Zełenski, jakie gwarancje pan potrzebuje, aby podpisać umowę pokojową? Cokolwiek. Potrzebujemy wszelkich gwarancji. Potrzebujemy po pierwsze silnej ukraińskiej armii. I to też jest dużo, potrzeba umów o broń, o wywiad. I potrzebujemy również kontraktów zbrojeniowych z innymi wielkimi państwami. Jeżeli chodzi o ochronę w stylu NATO, to czy tam byłyby wojska amerykańskie na Ukrainie? Wiecie, mamy ludzi, którzy teraz czekają w innym pokoju, ludzi z Europy, i oni chcą pomogą Ukrainie. Ja sądzę, to jest bardzo ważne. Pan się zajmuje pokojem na Ukrainie od pierwszego dnia pana prezydentury. Co pan może powiedzieć Ukraińcom w tej chwili, którzy cierpią i mają nadzieję, że pokój najdzie? Wiecie, znam wielu Ukraińców, to są wspaniali ludzie, energiczni, mądrzy i kochają swój kraj. Kochają naprawdę swój kraj. I chcą, aby ta wojna się zakończyła. Tyle mogę zrobić. Kocham ukraiński naród. I kocham też rosyjski naród. Kocham ich wszystkich. Chcę, żeby ta wojna się po prostu zakończyła. Czy pan był zawiedziony jakimkolwiek aspektem pana rozmowy z Putinem? Właśnie rozmawialiśmy z prezydentem Putinem i będziemy mieli rozmowę telefoniczną tuż po tych rozmowach. I możemy mieć spotkanie trójstronne niedługo. I mamy, jeśli do takiego spotkania dojdzie, trójstronnego, to ja sądzę, że jest dobra szansa, że ta wojna się zakończy. Dziękuję bardzo wszystkim.
Thank you, press. Thank you. Keep moving. Thank you, guys. Keep moving, guys. Keep moving quickly. Let's go. Thanks, guys. Keep going.
Stańczyk przed Białym Domem. Część dziennikarzy też wyszła z gabinetu, w którym zaaranżowana była taka mini konferencja. Rafał Stańczyk przed Białym Domem z pewnością wymiana.
Oops. We don't want that camera anymore. We don't have that camera. We got to go to one of the other cameras. We got to go to one of the other cameras. All right, let me get the clock off. Hang on. So they're going to meet now. Oh, here we go. That's outside the room.
Nice to see you.
All right. All right. So I don't know that we got I don't know that we got many details about what's going to happen. There wasn't a fight between everybody, so that's something. It went better than the first time. Yeah, oh by the way, some people are talking about on YouTube saying the stream was lagging for you. I apologize if the stream was lagging for some people on YouTube. It was not on my end. I was watching the stream on YouTube. I had no lagging. A bunch of people watching in the chat had no lagging. Unfortunately, it seems like what happens is when there's a big international news event and lots of people are watching YouTube, we've had this before. Sometimes people get lagging, and I apologize. But again, there's nothing I can do because I was not getting any watching it here, and many of our viewers were not getting it. So it's not on my end. I'm guessing it was a YouTube issue, just with you have people around the world watching this thing. So again, I hate when people are getting it. I wish I could fix it, but there's nothing I can do about it here to fix that. So again, I'm sorry. One of our viewers just said stream on Facebook was fine. So, you know, again, I was watching the stream on YouTube during, and I didn't have any lagging here. So again, I apologize that some people are having issues. Oh, this apparently is a shot of people, pro-Ukrainians out there. Where are they? Is this outside the White House? It's in D.C. somewhere. I better put up Washington, D.C. All right, so let me, I want to talk to you guys. We might get more. We haven't even heard from the European leaders yet. So I believe that, I don't know how long they're going to meet for. How long are they going to meet for? I don't even know how long they're meeting for. I can't play the music. I mean, one of our viewers said an hour. I mean, so there's supposed to be a family photo with the president and European leaders at 2:30 p.m., but I don't know that that's going to happen on schedule. Also, let me show you what the schedule says. Let me show you what the schedule says, and then you can tell me what you think.